Hi, this is Nancy Norton, and you're listening to Traumedy, the podcast that helps you take your pain and play with it. I'm a former nurse. I got out of nursing for the same reason a lot of people get into it, to save lives. I heal with humor now. I'm a comedian and a speaker about the power of humor. On Traumedy, we talk about some very sad, scary, and dark subjects sometimes, but we lift them into the light with laughter. Traumedy is not a replacement for trauma therapy, but it may help you get by between sessions. This is peer-to-peer sharing. We learn from each other. I'm learning so much, and I want to thank each and every one of my guests and my listeners who often become guests. I hope this podcast is helping you heal at least half as much as it's helping me. This episode contains explicit sexual content, club material that I love. I'm going to say it. So if you don't like explicit sexual content, I don't understand you. I really do not understand you. How can you not enjoy that? If you do like explicit sexual content, turn it up. Enjoy episode 32. Welcome to Traumedy. My guest this week is Roxey Grant. I'm super excited that she's here. I've only met her once, and when I met her...
I'm so sorry for interrupting you. I do not mean to be that person, but my pronouns are they, them.
Oh.
We can start over. I'm not mad. I swear to God, I'm not mad.
I didn't know that.
I'm not...
They. All right.
I just inform as I go. I'm not going to make a poster or anything. I'm not upset.
I love it. And you know what? Let's leave it in because... Well, actually, I'm working on my pronouns still.
It's a journey.
It is a journey, and we are dynamic beings. And thank you for your gentle, loving interruption, because I think so many folks out there, their response is anger because they feel embarrassed. So they rather, instead of feeling like, oh, shoot, I forgot to ask your pronouns, I probably have even seen that before, but totally spaced it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. I've been saying this thing, and I really feel it. I'm trying to figure it out. My pronoun is one, and I looked it up because it's the gender-neutral indefinite pronoun of one, and I love it because it's like I feel like we are all one, and I don't know how it works, but it's like our next one is, and this one, and that one, and I don't know why. I just really am. I'm going to keep working on expanding the gender neutral indefinite pronoun of one.
I like that. There's so many things. That's also why I have a lot of patience, is because I didn't grow up with I grew up in Florida, so there was no options whatsoever for that. Yeah. And then I came out here and I had friends like that, and I would mess up sometimes, but they gave me grace. So I don't understand why I would be furious and not give, because I clearly look like a femme presenting person. So it's not you called me sir or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even though when you say that, I see your divine feminine and your divine masculine, if you don't mind me saying so. But
no, I also love it, yeah.
I also sort of unsubscribe from gender, but then there's sex, and it gets, because I think of myself as a she, they, because I definitely embrace my XX chromosomes, but then I also never subscribed to gender roles. I never really got that. Even it confused me as a kid. Why can't I have really good tennis shoes? I mean, when I was a kid, the girls' tennis shoes were so different than the boys' tennis shoes.
And they have frills on them. I'm like, how am I supposed to run in this?
Yeah, man. I couldn't climb a tree.
I still did, but
yeah.
My mom would get so mad because I would dirty up my dresses in the playground wrestling boys and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tomboys.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to reintroduce you, and I may very well leave this in because I think it's a great discussion.
I think we should leave it in. It's organic. It's a good discussion.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to Traumedy.
Woo.
My guest this week is Roxey Grant, and I have only met them once before, and this was in person, and that I recall. I just remember this moment because
it was once. We've only talked over Facebook since that time, but yeah.
And it was at Christy Buckley's. I believe it was.
It was one of her productions.
Yeah.
But she was running the show.
Yeah. And I was at Rise, and I just met you, and then I was like, whoa. I just felt all this energy of hilariousness, and I'm like, oh, you're a comedian, and you're kind of nodding, and then I don't remember from there other than just seeing you on some Facebook posts, but I know you're a comedian. I know you're an actor, that you're a theater nerd.
Yeah, theater nerd.
And a singer.
Yeah.
I did not know you were a singer till today, and that you've written songs.
I have, yeah. I'm getting back into it, but I legit like pulled up a box from my storage full of like a stack of old lyrics that I wrote when I was like a kid. And the dream kind of died after like trying competitions and stuff like that. But of course, a kid usually doesn't win things like that. So I'm coming back into realization that I can definitely try again. And it's not a dead dream. It's just that like things like this take time and you need to be like patient with yourself. And
absolutely. And I mean, here I am 63 years old. It took me till 58 to win a comedy competition. You know, I just called myself a choker instead of a joker. The fact that you were able to get in front of an audience to audition and you were a teenager.
Yeah.
I mean, that just blows my mind, because I still probably would get a little shaky kneed at the idea of it. So that's really cool that you had the courage and that you had the confidence and you knew you had a talent and you went out and you showed your talent. And for whatever reason, it wasn't the time for that to line up, but you have plenty of time. They say in this business, you cannot go too slow. And I am proving that right now.
And also, like, I agree with that. I feel like that's life in general. I feel like we're especially now, grind culture is like praised so much, but it's good to just take your time. Because if you run yourself out and then you get there and you're exhausted and you hate everything and everybody, then.
And you burn out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the long haul, man. Grind culture. I hadn't really heard that term per se. So do you mind saying how old you are now?
I'm 25 now.
You're 25.
I know.
That is adorable. And I just want to say, whatever you want, I can just see it happening. I got to tell you. And I am a little bit like, not just psychic, but the energy and the glow. And it doesn't hurt to gather more and more skills. So your background, you were sharing, you were raised in Florida.
Yeah. So I was born in New York, raised in Florida. Most of my life was Florida. So DeLand, it's like a Littleton for here, way less money. So it was like Central Florida, very kind of more of the countryside of Florida. The more south that you get in Florida, the more northern it gets. And then the further north you get, the more southern it gets, because Alabama and Georgia are right there.
Oh, I got you. Kind of like, I think Louisiana, I think of that way too, because New Orleans is a little more progressive, and then you go north and you get a little more upside down, getting closer to that conservativeness. And then you were saying, we were talking about eating foods, and I eat mostly plants. I definitely call myself a hypocrite because I will eat a fish now and then.
Yeah.
You're saying that you grew up vegetarian mostly.
Mostly, yeah. So Seventh-day Adventist is how I grew up, and my mom would go through these spouts of like, we're vegetarian, and then when we weren't, it was never anything other than like fish and chicken, because we didn't eat red meat. We definitely didn't eat pork, and then like no like shellfish, and then no unclean fish, so nothing without scales.
Okay,
so very Old Testament.
That's from the Old Testament.
Approach, yeah.
And then so when you got your autonomy, you're like, I'm chowing down.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, bacon? You were like, what kind of good God would keep me from bacon? That's insane. Life is hard enough without it. Bacon makes me happy. I've been baking wrapping everything lately, so I'm on a trip right now.
That is so wild. Like, I am completely backwards from that, because I grew up, my parents both worked. So we had this gas grill, and we would wrap bacon around hot dogs and put them. That's what I had for lunch. Like, I would put like bacon wrapped hot dogs on this grill every day.
That sounds really good.
Actually, hey, I never argue with the flavor of meat or animals. You know, I don't. Yes. I'm not an idiot. I know how delicious it is.
Yes.
And I tell you, the one food I miss a few things, but I mean, most vegetarians talk about bacon. Me, it's a brisket. I mean, come on. Or corned beef, Reuben. Mm-hmm. They just can't seem to make a good
substitute.
No, there's not a good substitute.
Not yet.
But there's so many good ones out there. Mm-hmm. And for me, whatever happened in me you know what it is? I had early trauma. I've talked about it on here. I've had early like pre-verbal trauma, and I identify with the voiceless animals that can't say, please stop hurting me. So I just can't enjoy it when I'm thinking about what they went through. It's just not, it doesn't, my pie chart, it just doesn't work for me right now.
Empathize with
I'm empathizing with them. Yeah. Instead of tasting the meat, I'm just like, ugh, I'm just thinking, oh, I just don't want to.
The salt is the tears.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, is that too dark? I don't know.
Salty fat, man. That's where, what I do is, this is where, and again, potato chips. That's my substitute. So I want to thank you for coming on. And, just, I haven't had the opportunity to see your stand up, and I don't know, like I was saying earlier, sometimes what we do is we'll take a bit that we recognize, oh, people may not know that this bit actually expresses a trauma. What we're trying to do is show people who may not be comedians who are listening, and maybe they are comedians, just to know, like, hey, you're not alone. We all got stuff. And here's how we like to get a sense of empowerment over our pain and trauma. I mean, just, I don't know if there's anything that comes to mind that you feel comfortable sharing with strangers.
Of course. Yeah. I'm very much an open share with trauma, just because I feel like if people talked about it like they talk about a promotion at work, we'd be better off. Like, just mental health triumphs are just as big as any other triumph that you have in life, because that's your brain, that's your mind, that's your sense of peace,
Yeah, and not feel like we can only share the good news. Like, here, man, this really horrible thing happened, and here's another, or maybe sharing it in this funny way.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you just need to share.
People heart react even if I make jokes about it. Like,
I've seen some of your posts where I think you've said, like, hey guys, this is funny. Okay. It's funny, but they're not right. They're like, we're wanting to do the heart hug emoji.
I was just like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to. I was like, you didn't go through it.
Yeah. Well, that whole empathy thing is complicated.
Yeah.
And then people wanting to do the right thing too, right?
Yeah, I was like, the right thing is to laugh. It's medicine or whatever they say.
Yeah, it is. It totally is.
I think it's medicine for me.
Oh, it is. I mean, anytime if you're laughing and expressing it and getting it out of that stuck compartment, and I'm studying therapeutic humor, I was telling you, and this is what we're learning over and over again, because it gets rid of the stress hormones. It gives you a sense of empowerment. It also helps you with creative problem solving when you laugh. Like, maybe you're like struggling with something, like, how do I cope with that? And then it's like, oh, you'll get an idea. Mm-hmm. I love the birth of jokes too.
Dealing with frustration a lot differently as well. Yeah.
And then for most of us that have these funny muses around, it's just, they're here for a reason. They're here to help us heal. They're here to help us survive. So yeah, so we don't get all life's just too hard, They are like, come on,
it's shit, but go on, like.
Yes, we're not denying the shit, we're acknowledging the shit. But look at this joke you got out of it.
Yeah, the positive.
Is there anything that comes to your mind, or do you have a bit we can even play one, or you can just tell us about it? Either way,
we could play it.
You want to play one? Oh, yeah. Awesome. Okay, here. Thing.
Even though I have my beard, I am pansexual, and yeah. All it means, for those of you that don't read, it means that, like, as long as you're hot up here, I don't really care what's down here, right? I'm not a picky eater. Right? There's hungry gays in Africa, Not gonna shut down a warm meal. That's crazy. So my parents are they're more religious, right? So they're not cool with the gay thing. Like, my mom, I get it because she's super religious, but my dad, I'm pretty sure he's just jealous I get more pussy than he does. This is definitely it, right? He's keeping tallies.
What was the very last thing you said?
He's keeping tallies.
He's keeping tallies. Pussy tally.
Pussy tally.
He's got one of those abacus things, or like when you play pool, that it's just pussy shaped.
Oh my God.
Just click.
It's
click.
just the vulva. Like,
it's just the vulva. Yeah.
It's also teaching you how to properly find the clit. Like, it's just.
I love that you're sliding it with 2 fingers.
I know. Gentle, circular motions, gentle.
Light. I mean, everyone's different. That's what I have learned from my lesbian days. And I now identify as pansexual as well. But then my little joke is I'm a bisexual, pansexual. I have sex every 3.14159 years. Okay. So this bit is you, like, obviously talking about your family, your parents, how they are receiving you as a whole being. And part of that is being a pansexual, non-binary, or would you say pangender? How do you, I
am learning. So the gender journey is very new for me just because I grew up in Florida. I grew up super religious. So they act like there's only like one choice. And then you move to Denver and it's just like, clearly there's more. And then you start listening to Prince and you're like, there's definitely fucking more genders than we try to admit.
I love that. Prince. Yeah, revolutionary. Yeah.
Absolutely. David Bowie too. I feel like there's a lot of people like that in history, but we just take it down as like, you put them in whatever category that we see them as. And I'm not trying to say who's non-binary or whatever. I'm just saying how they act is very like non-gender role conforming.
Nice.
Which like opens me up a lot because I was just like, well, people respect Prince.
Yeah,
so, like,
they do.
I can definitely get my respect. I believe it's James Baldwin says like you have to find out who you are and then like force the world to kind of accept you for who you know you are. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm butchering it, but like look up James Baldwin and he says to be yourself, bitch.
That's it. That's the succinct paraphrase right there.
Yes.
Right on. So this bit, I'm sure, is dealing with some pain with your mom, because I know as non-conforming gender and sexual orientation, I went through a lot with my mom.
Yeah.
And how is that?
So I'm no contact with both of my parents. My dad is blocked. My mom doesn't have an American number, so I just undownloaded WhatsApp, basically.
Oh, really? Just got rid of WhatsApp?
Yeah, because I tried explaining, I tried educating, but like conversations just became more and more painful. And to a point that I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And we didn't have a good relationship to begin with. My childhood was very like trauma based. We were never really in the same household. We were always like either homeless or couch hopping or about to get evicted. So it was just like we were never really close in the beginning because of how much responsibility I had when I was so young.
What kind of responsibility as a child of people that are in survival mode? Yes. And is there a reason for that? Like, were there drugs involved or irresponsible or mental illness or what was going on that they were? So I've
come to the realization that like my parents just didn't need to be parents. Like I don't feel like everybody is meant to be parents. I feel like they're good people outside of their parenting because I feel like they wanted pets more. So I'm dead ass because it was just very like they wanted a certain type of child and that was it. And I have 4 siblings and I'm not the only one that doesn't speak to my parents. So I'm actually part of the majority. So only my little brother who lives with my mom speaks to my mom still. So it's coming from a place of just like, I do feel justified because I tried. I was one of the last like ones out of the house to continue to like.
You were trying to mend it. You were trying to find this kind of
therapy. I offered to pay for their therapy, like, because I was just like, I work in finance now. So I was just like, oh, I have the money for this. Like, I can help my family, but it's not always possible. And I feel like people get so mad at you when you say that you don't like your parents. I was like, well, crack babies exist. I'm not a crack baby, but clearly, like, not every person that has a baby needs to have a baby. So
yeah, and I think that when we enter in as a parent, I can say for sure, when we have this desire to have a child, we don't even know what we're signing up for.
No.
Even though I had to take parenting classes because I was adopting, which I thought, isn't this wild? When you adopt, you have to go through all these parenting classes, which they really did help me. But I was like, man, I wish everyone who had kids had to go through these and then go, oh, wait, that's what it's about? Because I didn't know. And even then, my ex, who I was with when I adopted my son, and this is where we were talking about trauma bonds earlier.
Yes.
Man, the blinders that I had on around this person who, when we were in the middle of parenting classes, that they ask you these questions like, what would you do if your child had a tantrum at the grocery store? My ex, who I did, in fact, end up co-parenting with for a short time, and she said, leave them there. just leave. She thinks it's okay to leave a toddler at a grocery store
by themselves.
And then the next question, what would you do if your child bit you? What's appropriate? And then you can already probably guess her answer.
Bite her back.
That's it.
Yeah, like it's a dog.
Ding, 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 ding.
Like,
That's it.
Just bite her on the ear.
Oh my God. And I still thought this was a good idea to bring my baby into this home. And luckily I got him out. I mean, I did get him out before he was 2.5. Sometimes you're dependent. You can't get him out or whatever.
Yeah.
They have 4 kids.
Yes.
Okay. Back to you.
I definitely take the poor into account because poor is stressful. And my dad was from North Carolina, Fayetteville. My mom, born in Jamaica, raised in Belize, has her own trauma herself. When it came to actual parenting, there was a lot of physical abuse on top of mental abuse. And then like I said, they were good people. So my mom was very we would go into the woods and help homeless people and go marching or help overly gang populated areas, kind of help with talking to the gang members and trying to say do you have to do this here and stuff like that. My mom was a very unafraid woman, but seeing her how she would spend extra time to take care of other people's kids and then just be so hard on us and to the point because it wasn't regular whoopings or it wasn't just belt. It was kind of whatever you could grab. And I feel she wanted us to be perfect and then I don't know, she just wanted to help other people and be more compassionate and laid back with other people's kids than mine. But I was just you could have just not had kids and then helped other
that
struggling youth instead of abusing your kids and then helping others. It just felt really, jealousy definitely sprung up for sure.
I can see that. I've heard this a lot too in my Midwest heritage where people that are so nice to the stranger and then so cruel to the people at home. And I have to think, and again, I'm not a therapist, but I've done a shit ton of therapy, but that inner critical voice, I've heard it in my own, every now and then that shame, my mother just, taught by shame and kind of self-hate, put into me. And then every now and then I hear her voice come through me into my child. And I'm I mean, I make amends so often, but it sounds like she was trying to beat you into perfection. And
pretty much, yeah.
Did that happen to her, you think?
Yes, it very much. She was definitely abused. My grandma left my mom in Belize with my great grandma without letting my mom know that she was leaving.
So she's estranged.
Yes.
She took care of herself.
Yes.
But unfortunately passed it forward, didn't do the trauma, you're doing therapy
work.
But certain people just, I think, don't feel like they can open those containers that they have buttoned down and put away. There's nope, can't afford. My mother was like that. Can't afford to have those feelings, can't afford to open it and put it away. And you better not behave in a way that makes me even look at that container.
Yeah. And I feel that was where most of my pain came from was finding a way to, because I'm super into politics and human rights and everything like that. So I know how Black women are treated in America. I know how immigrants are treated in America. And I know that she was dealing with all of those things, but that doesn't excuse the pain that I went through. Because being willing to change is one thing. If by time I'm out of the house, you're willing to change. Like I said, I offered to pay for therapy, which is not my responsibility at all.
No, but you wanted that connection with your mom so much that you're I will pay for it.
Yes, because I know that she's in a lot of pain. And I feel I personally gave out a lot of myself because I was paying bills when my first job under the table was at 13. So I'm already paying bills and everything like that at that age. And then by the time I was 18, I was head of the household financially to help out. I'm not the oldest, but I was just
for some reason the most capable.
I was in sales, so that makes it a lot easier. I was selling furniture and stuff and everything like that, and dealing with drama at work because I'm younger. And people are just why are you you don't need this money like that, why are you stealing jobs and everything like that. I was definitely working with people twice my age that didn't like that out because I'm good at sales. That's what I do now. So I was definitely dealing with that drama and getting sales stolen from and stuff like that. People writing up my sales under their name and everything like that.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I come home to physical abuse and mental abuse. And then eventually my mom kicked me out of the house when I was 19 because we didn't agree on something. And I was paying the rent at the time, by the way. So she kicked me out of the house in Denver, and we had only been in Denver less than a year. So I didn't really know anybody, but like I got back up on my feet and I'm doing great now.
I'm in awe of you. I'm like, what an incredible person that you went into sales at such a young, like you're a teenager.
At the time, yeah.
I mean, you were a teenager. Yeah. You went into sales and you were kicking ass. On sales.
I didn't lie. That was why I feel like
that's it.
Yeah, I didn't lie.
I feel this. You have that clarity. You have that clarity in your eyes. You just have that clarity in your whole aura. I know I'm talking like I'm an amazing psychic, but I am.
No, but like you called it out of me when we first met. You were just like, you're gonna be on the stage, and I had barely started like actually getting in the scene at that point, and that kind of pumped me up. I was just like, okay, Nancy has a dry bar comedy special. Like if they think that I have it, then I can fucking have it. Like,
yeah, you do have it. Ooh, I get these good. I love getting these like truth chills. Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm surprised you even remembered the conversation. It impacted me so much. I didn't know that you had remembered the conversation, to be honest with you.
Well, let me tell you this. My memory is very spotty at this age. So there are certain things that just pop like that.
Love it.
That's cool. Well, maybe here's what I'm wondering. And this is, I'm getting more and more open to talking about spirituality and stuff. Because I've been a little in the closet about it for a long time. And now I just love it. I wonder, this is what I'm wondering, if one of your muses connected with like one of my spirit guides to say, hey, Roxy needs this right now, because just something in me just was compelled to like share that and reflect that back to you. So I trust it. Anyway, the point is,
I feel like if you believe in spirituality, you don't have to be like worried about talking. I know that I'm very open about my atheism, like, but that doesn't mean that like I'm going to be like, like, you know what I mean? Like I enjoy when people have a knowledge of something, and like if this is what makes you feel like, you know, like if this is how you understand the world, I'm not, as long as you're not hating people with it, that's that's my only part. But like, as long as you're not hating people with it, then I don't really care what people believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. I love that we can have this conversation. I didn't remember that about your atheism. And also, who knows, like we're all, of course, this might be the psychedelics talking, but
Hey,
might be the psychedelics talking, but we're energy, right? I mean, we're just made of all these tiny little parts that are energy, and who knows, right?
And I still feel like we're connected. Like I feel like when people think atheist, because I read the whole Bible, and then I went on and because I was super religious growing up, so I really believed it. And then I read the whole thing, and then I didn't believe it anymore. And
yeah,
and then I moved on to like Islam and like Judaism, and like I started learning like Buddhism and everything like that, and like Hindu, like Buddhism is a branch off of Hindu, but I just started learning about world religions and stuff like that. And then it brought me to atheism, but it did also lead me to believe that like humans are connected more than we think, because a lot of the stories are similar. Like a lot of the creation stories are similar. A lot of like the different like parables and stuff like that are similar. So we have like an overarching like what is right and wrong. And I feel like we're connected that way, and we're connected to be able to, like you did for me, like bring out the brightness in people, whether that's like because you did something because it was spiritual, or you did something because you felt like God told you to, or you felt like you meditated and you got there, you felt like you read a book and you got there. As long as we're like building up the community together, that's like my main concern.
Yeah. And trying to make room for everyone's point of view. And this is where I think, you know, how vegans get such a bad rap, because even me, like I have, so my inner teenager, talk about her a lot. Her name's Virginia Vengeance.
Love it. She needs vengeance is there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She needs her own one person show, but she is a defender of the defenseless, you know, the voice for the voiceless. And so sometimes she has a complete lack of empathy for the other human who she perceives is harming her friend or her vulnerable charges, such as animals and babies and the elderly, or anyone who doesn't have a voice or an agency.
Yes.
Like if she witnesses that or even sees it in her mind's eye, she can go rageful and disregard the human. Like having this discussion about bacon right now.
Yes.
Like saying, hey, I'm going to say my truth in a way that I hope is respectful. And I get it. Like you and I are coming.
we're coming.
Yes. As I have left bacon behind, you are now embracing bacon. And I mean, I'm going to do my part to say, I feel sad for the pigs, but
they are very smart creatures.
They are highly intelligent. And if everyone had seen one in a birthing crate, I don't know. Here's what I like to challenge people.
I did watch the documentary, the
Yeah.
very scarred like vegetarian documentaries. That's what they played in the church.
Oh,
like,
really?
They would like have like documentaries like that, because a lot of it's not a requirement of 7-day Adventism, but a lot are either pescatarian or vegetarian.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in the bylaws of it, because when I was reading the Bible, I wasn't necessarily like reading like 7-day Adventist parts.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like the denominations off of Christianity are just like your different interpretations of the same book. So
Yeah, and the book is so confused. Like, if anything would turn me off from God, it's the Bible.
yes.
And I have so many friends that are in, like, I'm in, 12-step programs that are divinely guided. I mean, they are spiritual programs. And so many of my friends who suffered spiritual abuse in their really rigid church environment. I don't understand the cherry picking from the Bible. Like, oh, one part says, kill your kids, beat your wife, and all this stuff. I'm like, but you're like, oh, but that part, we don't listen to that part. We listen to that part about hating homosexuals. That's the part we
like that part real good.
we like that part because we get to feel superior, and somehow we don't have to feel shame about our own homosexual tendencies.
That's what I'm saying. I was just like, more people are like, will look a little bit something, then they won't. That's me explaining the spectrum. That's like, I feel like more people like will try than won't. It's just the shame that's there. But once you remove the shame, you're just like, oh, then there's no reason why I shouldn't. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. But like, if you didn't try it just because you're afraid to try it, then that's dumb.
Yeah, or that you don't want to lose your little position of being superior.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I do. I've thought about that a lot in my own journey,
because they refer to us as like demonic and stuff, so they definitely think they're superiors.
Woo.
Yeah.
And that's so tough, man, when you're up against people that are in a cult. And I think of religion as kind of a cult for me.
Agreed.
It just doesn't, religion, I just feel like anything that creates othering, I feel is that, like you were talking about earlier, if it doesn't hate on somebody, if it's community, we're all part of the one, whatever. I'm just saying that feels cult-like to me. Anything that tries to put you superior to somebody else is I think we found it. That's the root of a cult.
Yes.
Othering, hating.
And stop thinking for yourself. It's just like, oh, God has a plan. No. I was like,
yeah. Oh, yeah, not allowed to have critical thinking.
Exactly, which is crazy to me, because that's the whole point that we evolved so far, is because of our critical thinking, and I guess the thumbs, whatever. But like,
don't forget the thumbs.
Don't forget the thumbs
and the mushrooms. Because if you watch that Fantastic Fungi,
I haven't yet, but I know what you're talking about.
Where they talk about this was how man sort of had these exponential growth moments. Man being humankind. Yes. That I see that the man, it is a patriarchy language, and I apologize for using it. But anyway, The point is that at some point a person ate a mushroom, and then our consciousness expanded. It's like the mushroom came here. It's the original thing, and it's the teacher.
I am definitely into the shroomies, so I agree for sure.
That'd be fun to have like
Shroomcast.
Yeah, Shroomcast.
We definitely need like PJs for that.
Let's have a shroom slumber party.
That'd be great.
And let's talk about all the commonalities.
We have more in common than we don't. So that's why I feel like it's like a painful thing to see when we like have such division,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for a mother to miss the opportunity like my mother did as well. We went to therapy once together, which I do. I hand it to Jenny Norton. We did go to therapy once together. But for her, we never, she couldn't access her heart because of whatever her trauma was.
Pain.
She was an amazing nurse. My mom was an amazing nurse. Cared for everybody.
Yeah.
Good person in other ways, but and did a lot of other really solid parenting things. But as far as wanting to know who I was, that was never, or invite me forward. Like, who are you? Like, wouldn't that have been nice for your mom? Tell me about you and who you are, and let me support you on your journey.
Instead of being disappointed. Because she really did tell me that she was disappointed. Because to her, I'm only like, I know it's like so overplayed, but half gay, like because I'm pansexual. So I'm just like, she's like, well, you do like men. I was just like, yes, and like a plethora of other genders as well. She just said that she was disappointed in me, and I like bawled crying. And she was like, I kind of already knew, because I was already like had gay tendencies as a kid. I called myself Max sometimes, and I would like I said, I'd wrestle boys on the playground. I hated wearing dresses and stuff like that, and I like wearing dresses now, but that's because I didn't know at the time that like I was just frustrated that was my only option.
That was it, that you were forced to wear it every single day.
I'm tired of these fucking dresses.
Yeah, man, I get it. And I mean, I would walk around my neighborhood and they'd go, are you one of the Norton boys? And I'd say, yeah, I'm John. And that was like, okay.
I love that.
And so Max and John, these are our inner children and inner parts of us. We definitely have the continuum of whatever gender is a social construct. But I'm just saying. And
apparently everybody has like masculine and feminine sides, even if they're not non-binary. And this is what I'm getting from therapists. So like fight them. Yeah. But it's just the way that your brain kind of works. If we're like putting gender roles in it, like you have like feminine tendencies and masculine tendencies technically. And seeing that like everybody has that side, but everybody has a shame to that side. I never understood. Like my dad, he's also super religious, and he would shut down like any sense of me before I was even like out or anything like that. When I was a kid, he would shut down any sense of me outside of a gender role. And I could tell that he definitely thought of me less so than he thought my brother. Cause like, I'm definitely like, I have my career ready. Like I'm already putting in my 401k. My brother's kind of like, but like, that's fine. That's fine. But like, also like the fact that you tell me that you're disappointed in me just because I like to eat pussy. Like I was like, you wish you had, like people wish they had a kid like me. Like, are you fucking kidding me? No felony charges, no criminal charges. Like I have a career. Like, of course I have my delinquencies, but like for the most part, I'm a good citizen. And you're like hating on that. Like,
yeah, I would be so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Uncle Nance, let me just say, is proud of you.
Yes.
It's amazing. You're incredible. But who you are is somebody that is incredibly versatile. You have these arts, you have this structured job. You're in finance and you're in sales. What are you selling, loans or something? Or
so no, I'm actually in like the stock market, but I work specifically in retirements and stuff like that. So
intelligent.
So I get to help people retire for the most part. That's what I do.
And so you know what you're doing. You're like, I've got this. I got a plan. Mm-hmm. And you're building towards your retirement, but you're also expressing yourself artistically. You have this deep love for your partner that I see demonstrate. I mean, it's just amazing. I'm like, it's great. It's crazy making to think that parents would not just be high-fiving, to me, higher power, or high-fiving the clouds. Yes. Just saying, oh, can you believe we raised this beautiful person? But instead, I know, but instead, it's so ironic that they are like, because you're not whatever that cookie cutter was supposed to be.
Yes. And it was very much that, because like growing up, it was long hair. 7-day Adventists don't pierce. So no piercings, no tattoos.
And now you have these beautiful piercings and tattoos.
I love my tattoos. But yeah, I do now. And it was just because like it wasn't like rebellion. It was basically like I've always wanted to do that, but I thought it was wrong. So it wasn't like I'm doing this out of spite. I was just like I've always wanted to do that, but like I thought there was something wrong with it. And now I have bosses with like a nose piercing, and they're doing just fine. So like I'm just like they're perfectly fine. I respect them, even though they have a little dangly out of their nose. There's also other cultures that's completely professional. So it's
And I think your generation, this is becoming the norm. Where was I? Somewhere at some fancy hotel doing a corporate gig, and these greeters that were there at this hotel were, I don't know, I think I had just put some fresh purple in my hair, and they were commenting on it. And I said, oh, it would look so good on you. And she goes, oh, we're not allowed at this corporate place to have that kind of bright color. And I go, ooh, I'm not sure if that's legal, that they can keep you from expressing yourself like that, you know? But I think
even talking, if we want to talk about hair, like getting into like intersectionality, I wasn't allowed to wear certain hairstyles that were ethnic at some of the jobs that I had, both in Florida and here. And they just passed the Crown Act, I believe like 2 or 3 years ago, that it's like illegal to like not allow us to wear our hair a certain way, because like African hair like naturally wasn't considered professional. Wow. Yeah, we have trainings now that like you're not allowed to like look down on somebody's experience because of dreadlocks and stuff like that. But that's also like I'm at a very like liberal
Yeah.
firm. They're very.
Yeah, there's something up right now, right? I've seen in the news not that long ago about a kid that got kicked out of a high school for his hair.
Yeah. My little brother had to fight for his, like, because he has very long hair. And like in like Jamaican culture, it's not a bad thing for boys to have long hair. And like there were so many times that people, private schools, high school, trying to make him cut it. But my mom was very much like, I'll put it back in a ponytail or something. But I think it's fucked up. I was like, how are you going to put like pictures of Jesus with long hair everywhere and then tell boys that they can't have their hair long? That's bullshit.
Yeah, there's so much bullshit like that. And also, let's not pretend it isn't from this, white patriarchal.
Oh, absolutely.
Trying to keep superiority and.
Because I was like, how is a messy ponytail professional, but then my Afro puff is not professional? And then how are braids unprofessional, but then two pigtails aren't? Like, it was just very like frustrating and stuff like that. But at the time I wasn't as vocal with my beliefs because I wasn't as educated. So I would just follow the rules and stuff like that because I was afraid of losing my job.
Well, I was going to say, plus you're dependent on your job.
On my income,
yeah. And then when we're in a dependent position, there's a lot of grin and bear it kind of stuff that happens. And I'm so glad that there's finally some laws protecting people.
Yeah, it's a federal law now. It's called the Crown Act. You can look it up. So yeah, it is.
I love that. Man, I'm excited. I get more hopeful the more people I talk to. You're Gen Z. Are you Gen Z?
I am Gen Z, which is so funny because I used to not think I was, but then they changed the parameters because I was like late millennial, and then they changed Gen Z to I think like 1996 and on. So then I was just like, oh, I guess I'm a Gen Z now. Then y'all changed it, but
you Gen Zs are giving me hope.
Because my little brother, he's straight as far as I know. He's very jock sport, and I'm not saying that like you can't be feminine that, but he's always had interest in girls, and I have opened the floor for him to be honest with me if he wanted to, so I'm sure he would if he wanted. But he's the one who taught me more about gender than like I knew, which had me explore, because he had friends that were trans and friends that were like lesbian or gay and everything like that, and like there's not a group with kids that age. Like there's not like a gay group and a straight group. It's just kind of like, like if anything, your groups are your hobbies or what you're good at, or like if you're the smart kids or whatever, but it's not based upon like gender and sex because they don't care about that shit anymore. He like went to go ask out this little girl, so cute, and he was just like, oh, she ended up being lesbian, so like that didn't work out, but that's fine. He wasn't like butthurt about her or anything like that. Like I feel like,
is this your younger brother that still lives with your mom?
Yes, he's 14. He's in Belize.
And what about contact with him? Are you able to be in contact with
Instagram now, and I'm gonna get him a phone for Christmas, so hopefully we'll get so you can preserve that relationship and keep that separate from the wounding experiences with your mom. Yes. That's so cool. Isn't it great? Like that, my son, he's 19. He's the same. He's, Mom, nobody cares. Nobody cares about any of this. Like, anymore. I mean, they really do. I mean, they definitely respect if somebody tells them a different pronoun or gender or whatever, but he's like, it doesn't really, it's just a non-thing almost to him. Yes. So it used to be like, I'm not saying that there's not some kids that age that are like that, but I feel like that's because of their parents, not like when they get out of their parents' house, they'll most likely just get their own opinions at that point. I grew up super, like I said, super small town, super religious. And then I chose to read and chose to like, basically. I love that in your bit. For those of you who don't read. Cause like what frustrates me is that like, they're so more than any other generation, more than any other time, like, knowledge is accessible. Like, and I'm not talking about like Wikipedia. I'm talking like peer-reviewed articles and like tests that have been like group tests or whatever that have been going for like years and stuff like that, that you can look in on, and like people will just refuse and just like type up whatever their answer was in their head and then find whatever agrees with that, whether it's like a worthy article or not. And that's what frustrates me. So like I have compassion for people that are like younger and then people that are trying, but I do not have compassion for people that are like, absolutely not, this is what I believe and that's it. If they're over, like if they're like in their 30s or above, because I believe that you're probably going to stay that way. Well, and it's so hurtful. It's hard to have compassion when people are actively
harming you.
Yes.
And
I feel like that's what people don't get. They're like, why don't you reach across the aisle? I was like, because they don't believe in my rights. So like, I don't understand why I even have a conversation with this person. They can read a book like I did.
The other thing that came to my mind is this term willfully ignorant.
Yes.
The willfully ignorant.
That's where my anger comes from. Because I was like, you have knowledge at your fingertips. You're refusing the knowledge because you're scared, because you're feel superior. You want to keep that superiority because, quite frankly, a lot of people that are like pastors and stuff are like lame people outside of that. They don't have anything else if they don't have like the fact that they're a Christian and the fact that they think that they're building God's kingdom or whatever. And that's not only Christianity, but that's just like what I grew up with. I realize it in other religions as well. It's very much a thing. I feel like anytime people are just like, I know what God's saying. And like God's always the creator of the universe, no matter what religion that you're a part of. So I feel like that's what gets people like you said, narcissist. If you believe that you know the creator of the universe, and
only you know them.
Yes. And then like, you know what they think and what they want to do. Yeah.
Two things that just came up for me. One is Ryan. I'm referencing other episodes.
Perfect.
Ryan Sangelis. I have a hard time saying his name sometimes, but he's a former Baptist pastor, and I am never more proud of somebody who has cracked. His whole existence was around being this Baptist pastor, and that's he allowed and was open and allowed that to crack. Just got out of that spell.
And that's scary because that's your whole community. That's your whole life.
Exactly.
That's your income too.
That's your income, your identity, your whole community, your sense of who am I if I'm not this. So I just want to applaud anyone who has broken that spell.
Yes.
Like we did it.
No, really.
I don't understand why other folks, I don't get it.
I think it's empathy, whether you have it or not. Because like my thing is getting away from religion is that I couldn't properly love myself because I didn't fit in all the boxes that they had.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a box for me. And then also loving other people because it was hard to love somebody and then also call them a sinner. I never understood that concept because I was just like, well, sinners go to hell. So do you think that people are going to go to hell for this? And you think that you're just like what perspective is that coming from? And also the perspective of just burning for eternity is like hilarious to me.
Yeah.
I was like, even if you're a really shitty person, like, have you ever gotten even the tiniest burn for eternity? I was just like, you don't love me. This is
what God would do that.
That's not love. That's Stockholm syndrome. That's
yeah, that's really smart. That's not love. That's Stockholm syndrome. That's a good one. Yeah, I love that. Have you ever got the tiniest burn?
Like that shit hurts just a little. I'm just saying that's the worst punishment possible. Why not give us like diarrhea or some shit? Like what?
An eternity with nausea and vomiting.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. It's
just saltine crackers and ginger ale. That's all we have.
And Ryan even said that on his episode. He was saying like, I can't. There's no crime you could commit that is worthy of eternity.
That's insane.
That's just really that's the scales of justice. I don't see it. Yeah, that is.
It seems petty to me.
That is wildly insane. But I like what you're saying about the lack of empathy because that's where, and this is where I understand lack of empathy when I channel Virginia Vengeance, and she's like, "I've got to protect the innocent pigs,"
That's Max for me. Like Max is my protector. My therapist said that's that's my part of me.
Max protects your even smaller inner child, probably.
Yes. So Max is like very like, if I'm ever in a place where I'm feeling vulnerable, or if I feel like somebody, like you said, somebody I care about is vulnerable or something like that, it's just very like that tomboy that like, I'll beat you up if you fuck with my people type situation. And learning therapy parts is interesting because I didn't realize like it's called the family or whatever. Like you have
inner family system.
Yes, inner family systems. Everybody has their inner family systems, and you have like the older you, the younger you, like the parent you, and like there's different parts. Yeah. Like everybody has them. And it's just interesting to learn about parts of yourself instead of just like you as a whole, because there's different parts of you that come out in different situations. But yeah, Max is my Virginia to your Virginia.
Yeah, my Virginia Vengeance. Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm surprised my inner teenager is female, but she is. And she is a pretty badass. I mean, she does take those knives out of her back and she's like, let's go. But then as I mature,
I'll fight with said knife.
As I mature, as I get into like channeling whatever, the higher wisdom of all that is, she swirls it into like a chalice of love, like, oh,
I love it. It's like Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I don't know that. Kingdom Hearts.
It's like a video game and like stuff like that happens.
Oh,
basically.
Cool. Thanks for sharing it. Oh, I love also the inner family system where it gives me insight into myself. Like my inner critical parent is trying to keep my inner child safe by conforming. But then she projects, that's what I feel is a part of your mother that was beating you into conforming, because in a weird, fucked up way, she's trying to help you survive, because that's how she survived.
Because it's like, if you're different, they're going to fuck you up, basically. And she's trying to keep that from happening.
She's terrified. And so she's terrified, but then it comes out as rage, which is not okay. I'm learning.
But also rage is like a lot of unprocessed emotions. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that most people aren't taught to emotionally regulate when a lot of us are still those toddlers screaming in the middle of the grocery aisle like you. Like it's like emotions are hard. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Yeah, if you're really... This shit is hard.
Yeah, when you open this box, I mean, those of us who are like, trying to... Christy Lee was saying last week, trying to find the valve. Yeah, try the valve. Like, how can we let out 5%, 10%? But I think humor does that, where we can let out almost like 100%. But if we just spin it, 180 and go, woo, like somehow we can let out a whole bunch of energy in this hilarious way.
I feel like the journey is learning how to do that.
I know. I'm still learning. I'm still...
There's no perfection point.
Yeah. In my program for adult children, we are known as reactors rather than actors. So I'm working on it. But is there another tool? You were telling me in the kitchen that your therapist taught you some tools that help you regulate or just kind of, look at the stuff without getting too overwhelmed, or have these tools.
Absolutely. So like, I don't want to give credit to just one therapist, because I've been in therapy like 5 years and it's been very helpful. But like over time, I've learned from different therapists and psychiatrists. One of the things that I love, like we were talking about, is like feeling it in your body. Like if you're angry, if you're sad, if you're even not, like what happens to me a lot is that I don't know what emotion I'm feeling, because like I have PTSD and I have anxiety. So I could be feeling a lot at once. So I know it's so corny, but me and Alex use it in fights too. The feelings wheel. Like, and anybody can Google like a wheel of feelings and stuff like that. And basically you write down like, I am feeling this because of that. You're not blaming anybody. You're just like, I am feeling this because of this. It's like a formula. It's just factual. Why are you feeling this? And then you're saying like, okay, I'm feeling sad because I didn't get my donuts, whatever. Yeah. I love donuts.
I love donuts too.
But like, where do you feel that? Are you feeling it heavy in your shoulders? Are you feeling it in your chest? Are you feeling it in your stomach? Where are you feeling that pain? It helps you process it, like, because you can actually like, because I feel our society is just like, there is no tangibility for emotions and feelings, and it's just like, that's a lie, because you very much feel it and your body keeps tallies. So just like saying like, I feel it in my chest, and then kind of just like rubbing yourself and like being like trying to like calm down your chest parts, because I feel like we know how to stretch. Like we know how to release. So whether I'm like stretching or I need to go on a walk because like my hips feel tight because I've just been like clenched all day, whatever it is. And then also just like grounding. So 3 things that I can smell, or 4 things that I can hear, or 5 things that are red that I can see. So just realizing that you're safe.
Bring you into the present moment.
Yes.
Because the PTSD, it feels like whatever happened then when you were powerless.
It's happening right now. Yes.
Powerless and... Yeah, I think it's a powerlessness.
It's a powerlessness. Usually
yeah,
PTSD.
And so like, okay, this thing reminded me of that thing, and you're triggered, and so this lands you in the moment. We're back here and right now, and I'm an empowered adult.
Yes, and
I can speak my needs, take care of myself. God, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that you're using it. You're really using it. You're really applying helpful. It, man. Hats off. Let me just tip of the traumedy hat, because when I get taken over by a trigger, I feel so righteous in my anger. Like, this has to be said, and I don't give a fuck about how this makes you feel. I'm just like and it's really masking the terror of that little girl that is powerless and feels like she's about to die. And I'm not going to die.
The lizard brain thinks saber-toothed tiger, but really it's just an email I don't want to answer. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like bringing yourself.
I love that's just an email I don't want to answer.
Yes. But like, I'll go. Oh, sorry.
No, I just want to reflect on that for a second. It just makes me laugh, because that is the truth. It's just these associations, but keep going.
I have the PTSD. Sometimes I'll have night terrors, and the way night terrors work is that you can't get out of the dream. So sometimes I'll be locked in my brain overnight for what feels like days. So I'll wake up and like the grounding really helps for me to be like, I'm not there, I'm here. Because like for a while, like, you know, when you're like in a dream, but it feels lucid.
Yep.
After I'm out of those night terrors that like really have a hold on me, like I'll go a couple of hours feeling like I'm lucid instead of actually, like I'll walk around and I'll be doing things, but it just feels like I'm still in dream state.
Right. But that reality came with you.
Yes.
Into this morning or whatever.
Yeah. So it's really interesting to see, like I say lizard brain because like I know that we're not part lizard, but like lizard brain, like the brainstem is basically like what we started with. You know?
That inner brain, that the midbrain with the amygdala and the hippocampus and all those parts.
Oh, look at you. I didn't know that.
I did.
No, that's good.
But that is part of us. Yeah, that is that reactive survival part. Yeah, I am with you.
Yes. And like growing up, like I said, like couch hopping and like going from like getting evicted a lot, it was just like I've been in survivor mode for so long, and like I would say like the last 3 years have been the most enjoyable of my life. The rest of it is very much just a blur, but I've been loving it like these last 3 years.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you to get this sense of home and safety and sanctuary. You know,
not how I thought I was going to find it, but I did.
You did, and you manifested. I mean, here I am going back to the spirit. Well, it's not spiritual. It's
I feel like manifesting is a thing. I set my list down and I kept on saying, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to find. Like, I feel like in a lot of ways, like even like religion was just copying what we already knew inside of us. We were just saying it out loud. So spirituality, when you're like manifesting, is just like, you believe this so much and you're going to make the steps towards making this happen.
You see the steps.
Yes.
You saw the steps, you saw the goal, and then you worked backwards.
And some of the steps were a little crooked, and maybe they weren't fully there.
Oh, we're getting a call. Oh, that's your sweetheart. Yes. Do you want to take the call?
I'm gonna just let him know.
So we got to that you guys. You're not only do you have these tools, you're applying the tools in your relationship with your significant other, who feels like a life partner now.
Yes,
like this,
like my right hand. Like yeah, I was saying the other day, I was just like, he gave me, and I didn't ask him for the kiss, but he gave me a forehead kiss in the morning. I was like sitting on the toilet, you know, the good morning poop. Like
that's the level of intimacy.
That's the level of intimacy, and I'll just like, he's really like my friend, and we'll be like goofy together. He helps me goof the fuck out, which is great. He'll just do silly dances and make faces and stuff, and I feel like a kid again in a great way. Like I get to be the kid that I wanted to be. You know what I mean?
Yes, you're getting to have your childhood, and it's all happening at once.
Yes, and his family is very much the same way that too, because they respect my pronouns. They ask about my journey, and then like you saw the other day, like I was with Thanksgiving with them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
His mom's name is Peg. She's like 4 foot and can fit in your pocket. And she's the best little redhead Irish lady that I've ever met.
And embracing you, and embracing the relationship.
Yes,
and then you see where he got his playfulness and love, and now you've got a chosen family. Oh, beautiful. I'm so glad I got to know you better, and I can't wait to hang out with you some more and go see your comedy, and maybe, who knows, I want to see the singing and the singer-songwriter part of you too.
I'm trying to get that more out, so we'll see. I have 2 songs that I've like posted so far, but like I'm still working on stuff like that. I want to teach myself the guitar and like learn things like that, because I've never learned an instrument. I've just always been dedicated to singing and improving my voice. Wonderful. But then my little brother, like he was taught the violin, and then he taught himself the bass and the guitar, and I was like, that's the same genes I have.
Yeah,
I just need to try.
And you have obviously the ear, and you have the math too, because I've heard that there's a lot of interplay between music and math mind if you're doing all this banking and investing. And I'm so impressed with you. You're 25 years old and you're like teaching people how to save for their retirement. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roxey. Oh, I can't wait to just know you even more and more. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this. I like the whole reason of me getting into comedy was to make friends. So this is good.
I'd like to thank my guest, Roxey Grant. You can find Roxey on Instagram or Facebook. It's RoxeyGrant. As always, I want to thank my son, Nathaniel Norton, for helping with the music for Traumedy. And you, the listener, thank you so much for your feedback and for letting me know that this is helping you access and recover. The whole reason I'm doing this, to help heal myself and others, and I'm getting a lot out of it. I'm so glad to hear some other people are as well. Hey, check the show notes for resources for trauma recovery, for trigger recovery, for the feeling wheel. Let us know if you have any insights, anybody that would like to share on the podcast, anybody that wants to come in and share how you're coping with trauma. We'd love to hear from you. And you can always reach out to me at my website, nancynorton.tv, or go to nancynorton.tv on Instagram. Please do that thing where you share, like, and subscribe. And again, remember, every Tuesday, a new episode, Traumedy Tuesdays. No matter what, keep laughing. Traumedy is a Higher Power production.